Well, the first thing I'll do is applaud your efforts at addressing this topic because it is something that needs to be talked about, and it is something that this country has been lacking in bravery when it comes to discussing the issue of race. However, I will take issue with a couple of points that you made. The biggest of which being the statement that we need to, quote, just get over it. Now, in any discussion of race and racism, this is the common denominator that I've heard from a lot of whites, that we just need to get over it. I'm going to give you a little leeway because you are a little younger, but I will also put this question to you. How do you expect us, not only as African Americans, but as a country as a whole, to simply get over it when the practice of racism is still going on? When you have an entire race of people that have suffered and in some aspects continue to suffer because of something that you're trying to tell us to get over. That's point number one. Point number two is one that people will often make. Well, people aren't as racist as they used to be. There's not as many racists as there used to be. Well, as far as I'm concerned, even one serves to dilute the whole. So until racism is one of those things that is just not cool to be, then it's always going to be a problem. Until you are made to understand the actual effects that racism has had on black people as a whole, the problem is going to continue to exist. You say that you get where black people are coming from as far as their anger is concerned, and that's good. I mean, I get that, and I also agree with you that you as a white person, as an individual, should not bear the brunt of the sins of the past. Unfortunately, that is the case because, again, racist practices are still taking place in this country. So while we have had to constantly deal with how to handle the issue of race, while we've been told that, well, you shouldn't say these words or you're going to hurt somebody's feelings or whatever, that's something we've always had to deal with. Somebody else telling us how we need to deal with the issue of race. I think it behooves you as whites to look further than, well, it happened in the past, get over it, or other ethnic groups were oppressed, get over it. Look further than your keyboard or than some YouTube video or your sense of history. Talk to people that are suffering. Talk to those that have been denied maybe college admissions, or maybe they've been discriminated against on a job, or talk to the little Latino boy that was assaulted here less than a year ago by a group of white supremacists simply for being Mexican. Talk to people like that, and then you can have a further understanding as to why this is something we simply can't get over. Now, can we succeed in spite of it? Yeah, and a lot of us have. But it still remains a problem as long as the problem exists. Will we totally wipe out racism in this lifetime? I doubt it. Are we making progress? Definitely. The fact that more and more people are starting to talk about it is a form of progress. That needs to continue. But the conversation needs to be honest. It needs to be open. And it needs to be without fear. So I applaud you for taking on this subject, but I do beseech you to look a little deeper into the history of race in this country and the effects that it's actually had on people. And simply saying getting over it is rather dismissive and rather disingenuous. But as long as you're talking about it, that's a healthy start. And I thank you for that.